Okay. Yeah, I think our first target should be A2 first.
Yeah.
You cannot set yourself too low because I mean I have a few students wow, they set their target so low let's say they set B3, wow, in the end they score C6. So you might as well target more. Let's say you target A1 and you cannot get it, you perform so badly, like 2 grades lower, then you still get B3, which is good. Okay, so set yourself a bit higher, so it helps. Okay, good. Let's get back to this. Just check this recording. Yep, good. Recording is good. Ding, 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 ding. Go back to this. Yep. So this is the question we last attempted. Okay, so you have to get it into the simplest form. The final answer is always simplest form. If it's not simplest form, then you will get penalized. So let's say if your answer you stop here, right? That means you get penalized. Okay, then no half mark, then 1 mark. Okay, make sense? Okay, next. Then any other type of question? Okay, no. Okay, so therefore, right? Maybe I should give you a summary of the. Actually, what we talked about just now is factorization. Okay, factorization of.
Why do we need to learn factorization?
Yes, haha. Actually, a lot of students have. Okay, I think for your level at the moment in your class, you guys have not talked about how you apply factorization yet. But too bad, I have started with Jing Xuan already, so she knows why. So yep, I will touch upon that after this. Okay, so 2 terms, very simple. Okay, take out common factor 2, x plus 1. That's the final answer. 3 terms, so take out common factor 2. Right? Then 4 term, actually 4 term, right? Actually you just work out 4 term. Let me see. You just work out 4 terms, right? Like 2 terms, but do it separately. That means if you are given 4 terms, factorization, you just do 2 terms here, do 2 terms here, just follow the 2 terms. That means you break it down to 2 terms, 2 terms. That means if you are given a 4 terms factorization question, right? Basically you are doing 2 terms question. Can you realize?
Yes.
So this is the summary. Okay, so now you are asking why we need to learn factorization. Okay, I think for your level, 2 applications. Let me give you one of them. How do you get the answer quickly?
191 times 30. And 9
Yeah.
times 30
Yeah.
and plus 7.
So how? Calculator. 是吗?
Yes.
Or you want to use mental?
I think mental I can.
You can? 来。Hey Siri, start counting.
I couldn't find.
Start a timer. Start a timer. 1 minute.
5730.
5730.
If I'm not wrong.
Oh, total is 5730.
No.
Oh,
Only
okay.
the
Oh,
first.
okay, good. Continue.
Then it's 270
Okay.
equals to 0. Oh, no, wait.
Never mind. Continue. Sorry. Waiting. Don't worry. No rush.
6000. Yes.
Okay, good. I will say more than 30 seconds. Less than 1 minute. Roughly lah. Agak lah. Okay. Actually, right, you can make use of factorization. Less than 10 seconds.
Oh.
Okay, I spent 10 seconds because I need to explain to you. If not, I can just see 30, 30, then 200. Okay, so this is one application. So sometimes, right, you will get questions like this. They will give you something like, let's say they will get this. But you must be able to see it lah. If you're not able to see it, you can use the factorization method, then it's no use to you. Okay, so let me just give you a simple example. Must have common actually. Okay, so for this question, it's very hard to see, right? Okay, right? But actually, you can look at this as this. Okay, so common 2, right?
Yes.
So 40 plus 这是200
Yes.
6. So something like this now is 2, 4, 6. Then after that you can do it quickly. Okay? Yeah. So this is one application. Okay? How factorization can help you solve certain questions quickly. So sometimes, right, the question will tell you are not allowed to use a calculator. Show your steps clearly how you solve. And if you don't use factorization method, let's say you solve it this way, I think you get penalized. Okay? So let's say they will say use, okay, let's say they give you this question, they say use factorization method. And you never use factorization method, you do it your own way, like the normal way, you get penalized. Okay? Because you are not following instruction. Right? So therefore, this is the first application. The second application of factorization is this. Let me pick one question first. Let me just pick this one first. Okay, so first thing first, you see 2a square, then b square, then 6a square below, right? So times in between. So for this question, it's not so much about factorization, but I need to give you a introduction to this. I call this the cancellation method. Okay, so if you look at this, right, let's say if you have not learned the cancellation method, okay, let's say you just try to attempt this question now, what you will end up with is, so times, right? So let me give you a simpler question than this one first. How do you do this question? You numerator times numerator, right?
Yes.
Then denominator times denominator, right? So what you need to do is you need to use calculator already, right? Then you just use calculator, 2 times this is 40, then this one. Okay, I don't want to bother with it because just use calculator and then you will get the answer, right?
Yes.
So in fact, right, this way of doing this question, right, is complicated and does not make sense. Okay, so there must be a better way to do this question. Let me show you. Let me show you with this one. So let's say if you never learned the cancellation method, right, what you will do is, okay, 2 times 3, okay, 6. A square times a cube.
Yes.
B times b square is b cube, right? Something like that. Then times the numerator already, then do the times the denominator. So no difference from what I did just now for number, right? So now let me introduce you to the cancellation method.
What if it's like 2a square
Yeah.
plus 3ab?
Times, not plus.
What if it's
Cannot plus. Oh, you mean later plus here?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll talk about plus later on. Let's start with the times first. Okay? That is also another type of question already. So let's start with the cancellation method first. Must be times, So when you times, right? So what I will do is I will split to individual element. Actually, right, the key here is always split to individual element. Later I will tell you why split to individual element it helps. So b square is b times b, so 6 is 6, a times a. So in a way, right, if you look at this, right, I think you can also see that 6 you can split to 3 times 2. Then 4 you can split to 2 times 2. Okay, so what you see? Above and below. So I think you can see that they have some common element. So when you have common elements, right, both top and bottom on numerator and denominator, you can cancel. A cancel. Okay? B cancel. 2 cancel. 3 cancel. So you end up with AB squared over 4. So basically this whole thing, this entire thing, right? If you use cancellation method, you get this.
So you find the common ones and then you cancel it.
Yes. Times. Only work for times. Okay? It only work for times. Okay? So now I'm going to give you. Just now you asked me plus, right?
Yes.
Okay. In between all plus
No, it's only like in front.
Okay, this one is plus, then behind is
Times.
minus. Times. Okay, good. Let me just. So just now what we say, we can use cancellation method when it's times.
Yes.
Actually, okay, before I talk about that, right? Do you know that times and divide, even though they are the opposite to each other, but actually divide and times, right, the operation itself, right, I will say they don't mean the same thing, but they are quite similar. Let me tell you why. Maybe you have not thought of it in this manner, so I'll try to bring you to see it from this perspective. So 2 times 3, 6, right?
Yes.
2 divided by 3. So when you do divide, right, do you know that when you do divide, right, you should change it to times, and then you flip the 3 into 1 over 3?
Yes.
So 2 over 3.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to let you see is, when you do divide, actually we are actually doing times, but we need to flip the number behind the divide sign up and down. Okay, so which means if I give you one more question, okay, 6 divided by 2 over 3, in fact we always times, then flip upside down, so the 2 below, 3 above, then this 18 divided by 2 is 9. So what I want you to appreciate from today onwards is, next time when you do divide, right, actually you are doing times. Okay, the way to do divide is times. Remember it. The way to do divide is times. So in a way, right, when we divide or when we times, right, regardless of whether it's divide or times, right, we always do times. But of course the primary student, they divide and times is very different. It's very different to them. You know, they are the opposite of each other. But from today onwards, I hope you see divide like it's the, I would say it's like in the same. When you are asked to do divide, you do times, but you flip it. So in a way, right, next time when you do divide, right, you need to think of it like I need to use times method to solve. Okay? So with this understanding, right, then now we can tackle this question already. So here is plus.
Yes.
Over there is times. So so basically, right, let's say if I change all these to divide. I change all these to divide, right? Let me not do the, okay, this one I will reserve it after the divide first. Okay, I will reserve. So let me just, nope, sorry. Good. So let's do the divide first before I answer your plus one. So when you divide, right, actually you are doing times. Okay, so how you do? Do this one first. Divide change to times, flip.
Yes, so you flip.
So this divide, right, change to times, flip. So far so good.
Yes.
Then after that you just cancel up and down lah.
Yes.
Okay, so done. Now go to your question. I don't want to simplify for you to see because it's just the cancellation method lah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
But you need to split to individual element first. So when you split to individual element, right, so it's kind of like factorization already. Okay.
Yes.
So in a way, right, if you want to understand what's the meaning of factorization, it's like you split to individual element, then after that you take out the common factor. So same thing lor. You split to individual element. If you see common, then you just cancel.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's the application. So the plus one. Okay, the plus one. So for times and plus, you should do the times first. So you do the times. I think. Okay, let me continue. So let me just split to individual element first. B square is BB. 6 is 3 times 2 AA, right? Okay, by the way, you can cancel only for times. Okay? Or divide lah. Okay, I already discussed that. Divide is actually times.
Yes.
So you can only cancel up and down for times. Divide is also times ma. So you can only cancel for times and divide lor. Okay? So therefore you can only cancel for these two.
Yes.
That means this one is don't do this first. So I see a A which I can cancel. I see a 3 I can cancel. Anything else I can cancel? Just for the times. 没有了哦。
Yes.
没有了。So B 3B. Oh, by the way, it's the plus plus so I so this one 4 times 2 8. Okay, so far so good.
Yeah.
Now comes the more interesting part. Okay, this part, right, I'm not sure if you will learn it in this set 1, but definitely you're going to learn it in set 2. Okay, but just give you a flavor first, but definitely not term 2. I mean until this stage, right?
Yeah.
Because I finished I finished half of the book. I realized there was no such question. So I'm a little bit more advanced than your school syllabus. I still never see this kind of question, but of course I can give you a very brief introduction. This question is called, can you see that you have a fraction here?
Yes.
You have another fraction. When you want to add these two fractions, it's called combine into a single fraction. Okay, it's called combine into a single fraction.
Yes.
So this is not a. So if I give you half plus 1/3, I think you have no problem combining these two fractions, right?
Yes.
How?
You make the denominator.
Very good. That is the key word. That means the technique to combine into a single fraction question. The solution is make the denominator the same with the denominator the same. So how do you make the denominator the same? So the 2 is here, the 3 is here. So 2 compared to 3, short of a 3. 3 compared to the 2, short of a 2. Times lor. So you get 3 over 6. You get 2 over 6. Then you get 5 over 6. Good. Okay? So similar technique. Fraction, make it the same. So now, my question to you is, B compared to 8A, short of what?
A and a B.
No. B, just look at the, okay, so our technique is make the denominator same.
Yes.
Remember, make the denominator same. Anything above, don't care. Because that's not our method. Our method is, as long as we make the denominator same, we are good. Numerator, don't care. Okay, so look at, you have B here, right, the denominator. So your B compared to the 8A, right?
Yes.
you're short of a 8a. In a way lah, right? Or you need the 8a lah, I mean, okay. B compared to the 8a, you need the 8a to come over. Then this 8a leh, compared to this, yeah lor. So that's why you times a b here, but you times a 8a here. Then after that, right, what you end up with is, okay, let's consider the denominator first, 8ab. Above is 2 times 8, 16. A2a means a3, right? A to the power of 3. Means 8 cube. Then plus. Oh, but the cube goes to the a, not to the 16. This is the times. This is times. Okay? So you do the cube first, then you do the times. So therefore, that explains that the cube don't go to the 16. Okay? Yeah, just to emphasize this point. Then above is b cube b, that means b to the power of 4. This is b to the power of 4. Okay? Then over here is 8ab. Can you see that you have the same denominator? Same denominator, you can combine already. Hey, good. So 8ab, which is below. Above is 16a cube plus b to the power of 4. Yes, so this is the final answer. So this way of doing things, right? For this, you have not learned, but the technique or the method to combine into single fraction, you have learned already. But this one, I'm not too sure if you need to learn in this year, Sec 1. If, let's say, in the next term or term 4, right, if I happen to receive materials from Jing Xuan or you, and then I start to see this kind of question, okay, we can talk more about this. But at least now you have an introduction. Okay, so the question that combine into single fraction, the method is make the denominator same. You just have to remember this statement. Okay, and this is a brief introduction to this how to solve this kind of question.
And also this one.
Right.
I think this one is the question that.
Yes. You know how to solve this?
No.
Actually, this one it requires this concept. Very good. Very good. Okay, you know how to do this one now?
Yes.
Good. So you just make it okay. Let's start off with this one now. Then I will go with this. Actually, you know how to solve this, that means you already know the technique. So you, in a way, right, you see that, hey, 3y, 6y, what is the common denominator you need to achieve? So you just ask yourself, 3y compared to the 6y, hey, I short of what?
Another.
I short of a 2, right?
Yes.
That means, okay, by the way, right, in a way, right, times 2 is correct. But actually, right, this is also correct. Let me show you another. Let me show you. You can actually look at this question from another perspective, which you might not have. Thought about. Okay, this question. They both have y.
Yes.
Okay, so done. Then 3 and 6, right?
Yes.
I know. You just have to times 2, then you will achieve 6 already. But can I say, no, I want to times a 6 here. I want to times a 3 here.
Yes.
Can you do it this way?
Yes.
Why you don't do it this way then?
It's like there's more numbers, there's bigger numbers, so it's very difficult to calculate.
Okay, very good. So basically you have answered the question in a way that why you just times a 2. So what I'm trying to say, right, next time if you see that you have 2 different denominator, you try to find the easiest. You don't want to complicate things. Okay? If you complicate things, right, you only make life harder for yourself. Actually, you can do it this way. You can actually do it this way.
Yes.
It's not that you cannot. It's just that,
But the number is bigger.
yeah, it's bigger and then you are making life very hard for yourself.
Yes.
Okay? So, you have to find the simplest solution. So, therefore, right, that's why the common denominator is 6y. Okay, then let's not do this. Let's try to do the above. I also don't know why I gave you this question, but it's good. Okay, so first thing first. Oh, by the way, you need to see this as a whole. As a whole means you cannot say, hey, I have a 3x here. I also have a 3x here. You cannot say like that because the 3x, right, is together with the minus 5. And then this 3x, right, is a minus 3x, it's not a plus 3x. So it's because the minus sign belongs to the 3x. So in fact, these two is also together.
Yeah.
So in a way, right, this and this, right,
Can they add up together?
this compared to this, this compared to this. By the way, this is letter. This is with letter. This is number. Cannot combine. This is with letter. This is number. Cannot combine. So when you cannot combine, right, but they still have to stay as a whole, right? So what you need to do, you ask yourself, lor. This one denominator compared to this denominator. This guy need this guy. So since this guy need this guy, so I just times both numerator and denominator. Then the next one.
Is times the 2.
Correct. So let's see. Let's continue. So then you can form the. So you don't have to open up first. Just carry on with the above first.
Yes.
So 3x minus 5 plus. So plus, I don't need to care because plus everything behind no change. So it's 4 minus 6x. I think you can simplify the above a bit. This is minus 1. Then 3x minus 3x.
3x minus 6x.
Yeah, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Then now you can see this as your 2 over 1. So the next step is cross multiply, which you are quite good at. So let's continue. Because I have seen you doing cross multiplication a few times already from your work just now. Okay, so equal sign. So 1 times. Can you see this times 1, right?
Yeah.
So 1 times anything is anything. So
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
So these two, you can go to the. So this. Okay. So let me just do it step by step. Okay. Then now you do the first. You go in first.
Yes.
There is 4, 6, 6. This one cannot combine, so continue. Then now you need to open the bracket. First arrow 12x, second arrow minus 20. Let me use different color. Minus 18x square, because x times x minus minus plus. So x. Okay, so far so good.
Yes.
Now you start to see what? You start to see the x square term. You start to see the x term. And then you start to see the constant term. That's the reason why I want you to understand at the beginning we talk about some technical terms, right? This is the reason why I need you to learn about those terms. Now let's continue. You only have one x squared term, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So just put it most front. Then you can only combine similar terms. What are similar terms? So I use a different line. So 12x is similar to 30x. It's also similar to this.
Yes.
So minus 3x, I need to bring over
Yes.
because I want to combine them. So
So it's
minus
plus.
become plus. Very good. So 12x plus 30x minus becomes plus. Okay, good. So gone. Minus 1 is here. So I have this. So I plus 20. Very good. So what I'm trying to say is, if you, because some people never learn, but just now we talk about x square term, x term, and constant term, right? So in a way, right, if we can, okay, let's go to that one first. 是在这里吗？ Where did we talk about this x square term and all this term?
I think it's in
Another PDF.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Then I just briefly did talk about it here, so in a way, right? Just now we talked about the you still remember coefficient
Yes.
of the x squared term. Then of course the coefficient of the x term. Then the constant term, right? So why we need to learn this is you need to be able to identify the x squared term. You can combine them. if they are the same. Can x squared term combine with x term or not? Cannot. Can x term combine with constant or not? Cannot. Okay? So therefore, now the coefficient of x squared term is minus 18, right?
Yeah.
But you only have one. You only have one.
Yeah.
So now, right, you have 3 x term.
Yes.
So you can add up the coefficient. No? So 12,
Plus
15, 45. But this one cannot add up.
Yes.
Remain the same. So 19. Then now comes the interesting part already. I just you might not need to learn this because this is not linear already. Just now what I say, linear means what? What's the meaning of linear?
Linear is
Linear equation means
like when the
yeah,
the number
power is 1 for x. Or the highest power of the letter is 1. So linear equation means
x.
highest power of the letter is 1. So sometimes it can be A. This is also linear. Okay? As long as it's the highest one, then it's linear equation. You look at this. Look at my question here. What's this now?
It's x
Square. Right?
x squared. Yes.
So is it linear?
No.
不是 Yes. So when it's not linear, I don't think you have touched upon. So this is called non-linear. So when it's not linear, by the way, just for your information, linear means power maximum is 1, right?
Yeah.
So power 2 means what? I give you the word. Not non-linear. It's called quadratic. But since you have not learned, then we don't touch upon that first. Okay? But we still can solve this question by calculator actually. But let's not go to that part first. But at least you get some extra knowledge. Okay? So yeah, that's how you continue to solve. So basically, if you continue, right? So basically, you just do it. So I can actually bring it over. So it's 18x squared minus 45x. By the way, you cannot combine because different terms. Plus 19 equals to 0. Okay. So okay, do you have a calculator?
Yes.
So in fact, right? This one then. 5. Let me try. It's not a nice number. But what I'm trying to tell you is, so let's say later I will help you get back to the. Okay, so for this question we solved just now, we cannot solve. But questions like this can be solved. Quadratic. I will just give you a brief introduction. So minus 2. Thinking what to give you. Okay, good. How to solve this? Is by doing this. That means now okay. So let's not solve this first. Let's see how. But they are of similar format, right? This is quadratic, right? The highest power is 2, right?
Yes.
Highest power 1 is called linear. So this is called quadratic. How do we solve this? Is by doing this. You go to setup.
Yeah.
You choose 5. So what you see? You see simultaneous equation?
Yes.
We are not solving simultaneous equation. We are solving polynomial. So what is polynomial is, so set 1 you learn linear equation, power 1. Set 2 you learn linear plus quadratic, means power 1 and power 2. Then set 3 you will learn 1 linear, 2 power 2 quadratic, power 3 cubic, and then power 4, power 5. So polynomial is just a general term. It will let you choose. So like I choose polynomial. So how many degree? They ask for what degree, right? Degree means the power lah. So this one is degree 2. So you choose 2. Okay, so your calculator can only allow maximum 4. So choose 2. So can you see the format?
Yes.
What's the format here? They ask for what is the x square coefficient, right?
Yes.
So you, in this case, what is the coefficient of x square?
18.
No, we are not doing this. We are doing this one first. Easy one first.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, what is the coefficient for x square? What's in front?
0.
If 0, then 0 times x square will gone.
1.
Yes. So you key in 1 first.
Uh-huh.
1, enter.
Where is
Sorry.
Oh,
So what is the coefficient of x term?
2.
No. This minus belong to.
This minus belongs to the 2x.
So I'm asking what is the coefficient of your x term?
Negative 2.
Correct. So key in negative 2. So they ask for what is the constant term. So it's key in negative 8.
Is 4.
So x equal to.
4.
You press one more time. Actually, there are two answers.
Negative 2.
Okay, good. So in a way, right, if you get power 2, right, you will have two answers for x.
Uh-huh.
If you get x to power 1, right, you have one answer only. Okay?
Yes.
You can actually test whether they are correct or not. You put it back, lor. You put the 4 in. You can see if it's valid or not. 4, 4. You want to see whether it's valid or not. If it's valid, that means your x equal to 4 is correct. Is it valid? Use your calculator. 4 square minus.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so that means if you put it back, if it's valid, that means this equal sign is valid. That means left hand side is LHS short form. Equals to right hand side RHS. That means this is valid. So that means this answer is correct. So that means what I'm trying to say is you can mark yourself before your marker. Okay. So yeah. So therefore you do the same thing for the 18 x square minus 45 plus 19. Okay, so the coefficient for x squared term is 18 in this case. The coefficient for x term is minus 45 in this case. Then of course the constant term is 19. So you just key 18 minus 45 19 to your calculator. Calculator will give you an answer. Understand?
Yes.
But of course this is not covered yet. But since we have questions like that, so just give you some brief introduction. It can be a lot harder than this. Okay, but brief introduction. Okay, so yeah, so so okay, why we end up with this is, you asked me the question, right? What is the use of factorization, right?
Yes.
Okay, the use of factorization is to solve questions like this one. Anything now. Let's say you are given this. So let's say if you don't know how to do factorization, you might not be able to simplify this. If you don't know how to do factorization, right? I mean, this is a simple one only, You might not know how to do this question. Why? Because okay, so this is 20. Then, if you know how to do factorization, right, you can see that this 8x minus 2, right, you can get it into, you can get into 2, 4x minus 1, right?
Yes.
So can you see that 4x minus 1 on top, 4x minus 1 below, you can cancel.
Yes.
So now if you cancel, right, cannot use this one to cancel because, so you cancel already, don't have, so 1 times 2 only above. Then below is 20, so continue. 1 over 10, over 10. Yeah. So the answer is 1 over 10. If you learn factorization. So factorization in a way, right, is to help you simplify. Simplify when possible. Okay? So this is the second application of factorization. The first application of factorization is the you can find the answer quickly. You remember just now the something like this, then you take out 30, then 90 plus 1, then 30, then 20, so it's 600. Okay, must be times, must be time. Must be time. Okay? Then in here must be, okay, so what if this is times? What if everything is times?
30 times.
Minus also can lah. Minus the 30, then but 19 minus 1 lor. So it's 13 times 18 lor.
Yeah.
So this is 4. Okay, like this lor. What if it's not minus, it was times? What if it's times? How? Can you do factorization if it's times?
Yes.
Yes or no? Cannot. Let me tell you why. How do you do this? You can only do a times a. A times a is a square.
Yes.
Then b and c cannot combine.
Yes.
So you never do any factorization. So for above, 30 and 30, 900
900
times 19 times 1. So that means this. Then use calculator lor. So you cannot factor out. You cannot tell me like this. You can, oh, 30 is common. Okay, take out 30. Then, oh, 19 times 1. 错. A lot of students make this mistake. So factorization only work for plus or minus. This one is plus minus. I mean, plus minus, right?
Yes.
Minus minus minus, right?
Yes.
Plus minus minus, right?
Yes.
Plus 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 plus. Okay, good. It only work for factorization. Only work for plus or minus. It cannot. It's not working for times. So if it's not working for times, it's not working for divide also. Because when you do divide, you can also change it to times. Okay. So this is a very key concept. Okay.
Yes.
So yes. So that's about it. Any other question?
No.
Okay, if not, then in fact the next week paper is already uploaded. Okay, so just to share with you, V is your folder. So I just put everything in this folder. So okay, HW14 is this one. You print out already. This is what I scanned. I mean, just now I take a picture, right?
Yes.
So this is already this is for record keeping.
Yes.
So next time you can always come back to this question, and then this is your work. You understand me?
Yes.
Then going forward, I will give you this one. Hold on. Let me quickly just do it. So it will be let me just bring you up to Jing Xuan's speed lor. Because you and Jing Xuan is the same thing, but just for the first lesson, I just want to make it easy for you. Because I don't know your level yet, so I will bring you up to Jing Xuan's speed lor. So next week will be 这个咯. Okay? Which is HW26. Okay, can? So you know where your mom download all these
Yes.
questions? Okay, good.
Hi.
Yeah. Hello.
I'm
So
coming.
good. Yep.